Flight of the Windrider. John lay awake. He missed his dad. He couldn't bear to look around his room to see the posters from the air shows he'd gone to with his dad and the model airplanes they'd built together. Ever since he and his mom had moved from halfway across the country, John felt that he just didn't belong anywhere. Biking to school in the early morning, he went by the airport, arriving just in time to see a small Cessna take off. He got off his bike, pulled out his notebook and worked on the airplane drawing he'd started the night before. As he drew, he remembered how his dad would lean in close to point out some detail in his drawing. Suddenly, John checked his watch. Oh no! Late again! He slid the sketch into his backpack and sped down the road to school. Arriving just in time for the math class, he pulled out his airplane sketch to steal a few more minutes of drawing time. "What's your answer to number 4, John?" the teacher asked. "Hey, Earth to plane brain, it's your turn," the class bully sneered. Sorry, what's the question?" John stammered, his face flushing. At soccer practice, John kept losing the ball and missed an easy goal. The other players ignored him as they walked off the field, laughing and joking. John headed back to the locker room alone. John biked by the airport on his way home. As he was taking out his sketch, a gust of wind swept the drawing out of his hand. A man snatched it from the air and studied the drawing. The Windrider, eh? Nice design. What's your name?" "John. They call me Plane Brain at school because I'm always drawing airplanes." My name's Tom Schuyler. Everybody calls me Sky because that's where I like to be most of the time." "Oh, you're a pilot." "I'm a flight instructor here, and I enjoy drawing airplanes too." John sighed. "So did my dad, but he died last year." "Don't worry, son. Things can change. Be open. Be ready." John got a box of cereal from the kitchen and went to his room. He took out his Windrider sketch and drew while he snacked on cereal. He tapped on the pickle jar where his pet gecko, Tico, was dozing. "Oh, you feel out of place here too, don't you, Tico?" He remembered Sky's words. "Things can change. Be open. Be ready." He flopped onto the bed and soon fell into a deep sleep. John woke to discover that he was smaller than a pushpin standing next to a real Windrider, complete with pilot. The books on his desk were as tall as buildings. The pilot smiled. "Hello. I'm Captain Windsmith. I was asked to deliver this plane to you." "By whom?" "By the creator of everything." "You know him?" "I've been working for him for many years. You're my latest assignment and under my special care." John was stunned. "So how about this plane?" the captain said, proudly presenting the Windrider. "It looks just like my drawing. Do you really think it will fly?" "I think she'll take to the wind quite well. "That is, if you can get your cereal flakes off the runway," the captain said, handing John a helmet and goggles. John climbed into the cockpit, and the captain went over the checklist for takeoff. John pushed the throttle forward, and they taxied down the desktop, faster and faster. With a final lurch, the Windrider lifted off. Soon they were skimming along the floor, passing bedposts and shoes at breakneck speed. "Whoa, I don't think I can do this." "Sure you can," assured the captain. "You were born to fly. Take a spin around the room to get your bearings." John swerved around his model planes hanging from the ceiling. "This is awesome, Captain," he shouted. "Where do we go from here?" "Head for the light," ordered the captain, pointing to John's bedside lamp. Soon they were soaring through a starry sky. Where are we?" "Welcome to inner space. My job is to show you worlds that you can't go to in a plane or even your body. There are worlds of brilliant light where only your soul can go." "How does the soul get there?" "It catches a ride on a secret power stream of sound and light." "Wow! Can I do that?" "Sure you can. But first you need to learn how to pilot your life on Earth." "I don't fit in there very well," John answered. "You're a born flyer, son. Look below us. There's nothing like a little altitude to change your attitude." John looked down at the earth, as his house, the school, and the whole town shrank smaller and smaller till they looked like toys. "Don't worry. You're being guided every step of the way," the captain reassured him. Specks of light danced around them, ringing and tinkling in soft musical tones. "Oh, what's all this, Captain?" "It's the big secret behind everything. The Creator has made the whole cosmos out of sound and light." As the Windrider sailed on through the night, a flock of white swans came into view. "Where are they going?" "Home," the captain said. "They have an inner sense that guides them back to where they belong." "They're lucky," thought John, wishing that he had a guidance system that would help him to find where he belonged. A majestic vortex appeared in the indigo sky, revealing a brilliant world beyond. "It's not so easy to get through a portal," said the captain. "It takes courage and great concentration." "I want to try." "Okay, tighten your seatbelt and give us full throttle." The Windrider began to rattle and shudder, tipping steeply. John's heart pounded wildly as a spike of fear shot through him. The Windrider spun out of control. Suddenly, a huge serpent whiplashed its tail around the tiny plane. "Captain, it's got us!" "It's not real. It's only your fear." The serpent grew larger at a terrifying speed. "It's getting bigger." "It's growing because you're feeding it. Focus all your attention on the light. Then turn the plane towards the portal." John concentrated like never before. He saw the light and only the light. It grew bigger and brighter each moment. The turbulence stopped as the plane shot through the portal. John's fears were far behind him now, like bad dreams. All around him was a heavenly stillness. "Well done, John. You've conquered your demons." I didn't know what to do, Captain." Thank you for helping me." "Awesome," John whispered, barely audible, gazing at the luminous sea of light. Before him, an immense mountain of light rose up. From its peak, wave upon wave of ringing radiance pulsed, filling him with joy. "I want to go up there, Captain." "Not yet, son. When you get your wings, you'll be able to go to many wonderful worlds like this one." John stared up at the magnificent mountain. How long would it be before he would get his wings and be able to return? Before John banked the Windrider back toward the portal, he imprinted the scene deep into his mind. "Captain, when I get home, I'm going to learn all I can about flying. Who cares if they call me plain brain?" "That's right. Just be yourself. Do what you love and do it well. Be the person only you can be." "I will," John said with determination. "Prepare for re-entry," Captain Winsmith ordered. As John made the final approach toward his bedside lamp, the captain guided him through the re-entry checklist. John lowered the flaps and dove through the lampshade. After a perfect landing on the desk top, John pulled off his helmet and goggles. "That was amazing," John said. "Remember the swans? You have that same homing sense within you. Let it guide you to where you belong," the captain said, pressing something into John's hand. John waved a sad goodbye as the captain flew off. He stood there for a long time before he opened his hand to see the captain's gift. It was a beautiful compass. As soon as John woke up, memories of his midnight adventure flooded into his mind. The captain, the portal, the mountain of light. Was it real? He reached into his shirt pocket. Yes, the captain's compass was there. It was all true. The worlds within worlds, and that radiant stream of light and sound. John walked over to the desk and looked at his Windrider sketch. Picking up a pencil, he signed the picture with bold, confident strokes. "Just like you taught me, Dad," he whispered. And then he glanced at Tico in his pickle jar. "You deserve a bigger world too. I'm going to put you outside my window so you can come and go as you please." After that night, life didn't seem so hard for John. It was a lot easier knowing that a little altitude could change your attitude, and knowing that fear vanishes as soon as you stop feeding it really helped. Most days after school, John was at the airport. He started a flying club. In the years to come, Sky taught them all how to fly. After John's first solo flight, Sky gave him a set of gold wings with a mountain engraved in the center. John smiled. He knew his real journey was about to begin. Surely he would learn the secret art of flying without wings to the worlds within.